Yo, what up, Pat?
Hey, Gastor, how are you?
I'm chilling, homie.
I'm so happy to be doing another podcast with you.
That's what we do. You know what I mean? It's the new routine, baby. I love that I feel like a part of you is still not sure that I'm committed to this. Like, you text me to make sure, hey, Gastor, 10:30, you still good for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good. I promise you.
And then when you got to the door, I was like, you're really here? You're here?
You know what I mean? You know we're friends, right? Like, I fuck with you as a person.
Well, I feel
I wouldn't just let you down like that, just not appear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I feel lucky. Thanks for being here. Let's get into it.
Real talk.
You are listening to the We Hired a Sitter for This podcast.
We hired a sitter for this.
We have a roster of like 7 sitters.
I hate authority, but I'm a mom.
I'm an old man. I need orthopedic shoes.
The laughs, the chuckles, the TMI.
Some people might say, why would you have kids? The oceans are rising. The economy's collapsing.
And they're not wrong. I'm Ross.
And I'm Patrick.
And we hired a sitter for this.
Your SM58's got dents. Like, that is a sign of, like, yeah, you've been doing this for a bit.
Oh, like mixing them?
Like,
the dents,
yeah,
the physical dents.
Sincerely, it warms my heart, yo. Like, if they ain't got dents, I was like, you ain't been really doing this, man, you know?
Yeah.
Because these mics, they could get beat up, and they still sound great.
These mics are tanks. They, you can perform a show, and if somebody comes at you and you don't have security, you beat them down with the mic.
Hell yeah.
And then you pick up with your show.
And it's good, you know?
Because you have a background in hip-hop,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, I used to do, like, audio engineering for a bunch of artists.
Did you ever do verses, though? Did you ever spit?
Not, like, you know, like, just, like, on some, I want to know that I could do it. In high school, I did it.
Yeah.
But, no, once I started working with people that, like, that was their aspiration, I was more than happy to hit record and and mix the songs.
Yeah,
it was cool.
Did you ever have an MC name? I know you went by G. You went by Brooklyn Batman. Did you have an MC name?
I had 2. So
I can't. By the way, I can't believe we're going to start this podcast with another conversation about pseudonyms. But we'll keep it quick.
Yeah. So at one point I went by Gates.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, me.
Is that a Bushwick reference?
Yeah, it
Gates
was literally
Avenue?
for the street. I was living out in Bushwick when I started working with them, and I changed it to Accolades at one point.
Oh, I like Accolades Almonte. Sounds
yeah,
good, actually.
it's good.
Double A, AA.
Straight up.
And I'm a member of AA. I'm not supposed to say that, but
you're not.
I like that.
I thought, like, is it because you're anonymous as in you don't say it, or is like
There's a couple reasons. One reason is if I come out and I start talking about it, and I elect myself some kind of informal spokesperson. Then if I go have a catastrophic downfall, people will be like, "Oh, but that guy said he was going to that program and it clearly didn't work for him. He's out here raping and pillaging. He must that thing must be really bad, so it can't help people. So it gives the program a bad name." There's that, and then you also don't want to go to these places where people are trying to help each other, and then say like, "Oh, well, I saw Gastor there. He's a famous comic, and I know that guy. And did you know he has this problem too?" Like, some people want to be able to go, and not have other people tell people they saw them there.
Gotcha. See, I thought it was just that. Like, I thought you could say you're there, but you can't say other people were in it.
Yeah, it's both. And actually, I can say this specific story because it was in the Rolling Stone interview about this, I believe. I hope I'm not messing this up. But Eminem is famously sober. And he said in this interview with Rolling Stone, he was like, I can't go to public meetings, so I have to have people come to my house, and we have little meetings, which is beautiful.
That's dope.
But he can't go because, like, he's too famous. It's like too... people do talk about it and like don't give him the space to heal, and it's
right.
So that's a whole other thing. So anyway, you were Accolades Almonte. I love that.
Yeah. You can find me, like, there's a few different projects I worked on. You could, like, legitimately look me up on. What's that? There's like that website. It's like
SoundCloud?
like Discog or something.
Okay.
Yeah, like I'm in credits and stuff. I've done stuff.
Nice.
It's cool. Hell yeah. I was out there. I was hitting record. Was doing the little knob twisty thing.
Yeah.
Good
I
times.
thought you were complimenting me on taking the sound that we're recording right now and making it not sound like it's an SM58, because I put some compression on the mics. I do a little EQ work. I make it all sound nice. These are we're in the studio right now.
Hell yeah. I'm proud of you.
I'm
yo.
in the studio with Gates. I can't believe it. My MC name was Pat Miscellaneous when I was rapping. Actually, I had a worse one. The worst one was Padiz Nizzle Pat. I was trying to ride the Snoop Dogg, the Snoop Drizzle coattails. He was doing all that stuff at the time. This was around 2000, 2001. So I went with Padiz Nizzle Pat. That did not go well.
I can't see that working. Pat Miscellaneous is kind of fire though.
I like it too. That also never caught on. I do think there's a MySpace link out there somewhere where you can hear some of those tracks.
Yo.
Yeah.
Who made your beats? Pat Miscellaneous.
I did. I made everything with. At first, I just used like analog drum machines directly into Pro Tools. So do drum machines, guitar, keyboards, like everything linear.
Yo.
And then I got Reason.
Hell yeah.
Software, and then I got into Ableton Live. I actually just re-downloaded Ableton Live because I'm in the mood to like make some silly songs or something.
Yo, I'm in the same like kind of re-adventure. So like I downloaded the also very much dating me that it's this software Acid Pro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No one uses it anymore.
But it's got like preloaded loops and I'm not looking to like instrument like create every single instrumentation. Like
right.
I'm okay with just making a thing. I actually also went through the YouTube instrumentals and I'm like, I could put a verse on top of this thing, like a joke about whatever.
It's just something admittedly fun. I think that I needed a creative thing with no stakes.
Yes.
So like I could just be silly doing these things. So yeah, I got into the whole thing. I started playing around with them. I'm gonna release them at some point, but like I don't expect them to like. No one's gonna be like, "Yo, that's Nas' second coming."
Right. You could be like Jamie Foxx. I mean, Jamie Foxx is hilarious on stage for hours on end. Then he makes brilliant music. Then he's an actor, like an Oscar-winning actor. You're our Jamie Foxx.
I don't expect to be. No, I am holding on to dear life for stand up.
Well, maybe we need to take suggestions from the audience. Do you guys want to hear us do a track together? Like, should we rap the news or something sometime?
I'm with it.
Or some kind of sketch.
It's gonna be a very niche project. You know what I mean?
It'll have two people that ever listen to it, 1 and 2. Oh my God, it's so good to see you, man.
Likewise, man.
I was just in the bathroom in the mirror. I put a little hairspray in my hair. I got this wave that I don't like. It makes me look like that kid from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You know, the kid in the workshop? He has like the blonde hair. Do you ever watch that movie? It's like an animated Christmas movie.
Yeah, I remember seeing it.
I can't remember his name. He's the workshop kid, though, the elf.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm very self-conscious of this wave. Anyway, I was trying to put hairspray in it. And that's not the point. The point is, I got a lot of grays in just like the last weekend.
Welcome.
Thank you. I feel so stressed and tired. My kid got sick 6 or 7 days ago. She didn't go to school Thursday or Friday, so I had her all day Thursday and Friday. A lot of time over the weekend. No school today. We've been cooped up, cabin fever, and I'm on the verge, man.
Yo,
this
man.
shit gets hard.
You needed God time, yo. I'm glad we here.
It is nice to be here. I feel weird survivor's guilt. I don't know if you get this. As a performer, like I can say to her, I gotta go record a podcast.
Yeah.
You take care of Franny. I'll see you later. And then I have another job. I gotta go into the city for the rest of the day and night.
Yeah.
So I have survivor's guilt because I get to leave. And then same with Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. I had gigs all 3 nights. So around 5, 6 o'clock, I'm out the door. And then she's at home with a sick kid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have space and freedom. And I feel a mixture of like relief and then shame that I'm like happy I can escape from the stress. I know this isn't very funny, but I'm just bouncing some father shit off you right now.
You're a better man than me. I feel none of that. I leave the house so happy all the time. And it's not because, you know, I empathize with the fact that my wife has a different role and a set of responsibilities with our kids, but also like I don't get that back. Like, you know, I had a daytime gig while I was starting stand up, and you know, it required me waking up at like 2, 3 in the morning. And when I went out and told jokes and then got up at 2 in the morning, guess who was up besides me? Nobody.
Yeah.
All of them people slept right through. You know, and I love them. I did that for them. That's cool. But in turn, now when I get to sleep in, you know, start my day at 5 in the afternoon so that I can go do shows at 7, and they had a crazy day. Yeah, I feel fine. I feel completely good. Like every bill gets paid because of my jokes.
Yeah.
I'm completely fine with the sacrifices that they have to make so that I could sleep well. While I rest to go work for 45 minutes that night.
Yeah, maybe that's when things will turn a corner for me. When I'm bringing home big chunks of change from working at night, then I'll be like, well, yeah, I had to go. I had to get, because I'm making money, but not support the family money on just comedy yet. So
yeah, it feels good, you know, because and I could justify it. Like, listen, I have to be sharp, so I need these 13 hours of sleep. Okay, you know,
13. That it does say, if you look deep enough in the medical journals, it recommends 13 hours of sleep. It recommends food cooked and prepared by the spouse.
Listen,
things should just be built around you as the father.
I didn't make up these rules. Okay, I'm just following them.
It's science.
You know, it's the science. It's telling me. I got the studies.
That's hilarious.
Now, but like, I hear you. Like, I do like try to be present and like help with my kids, but I definitely acknowledge that like it's not my strength in terms of like being like the whole process of it. I don't know what to do. Like there was this past Christmas was the first time that my wife and the kids were sick and I wasn't.
Oh wow!
And the whole time we've been married.
Yeah.
And
yeah, because it travels through the house.
Yeah. It usually circulates.
By the way, I feel fine. We're sitting inches away. We're trying to make this podcast happen. We're in a closet. We're recording in front of a green screen in a tiny room. But
straight up.
So if I get you sick, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
But you dodged the bullet over Christmas time?
I'm a Teflon. Yeah, yo. Like, but like before, it used to be like everyone would get sick. Gabby would be last.
Yeah.
So like, you know, we all would get like the love, the treatment, you know, the home cooking, the soup.
Yeah.
You know, and then she would kind of like power through the end of it with the leftovers of whatever she made.
Yeah.
But this time I had to do that stuff, and I realized how little I know how to do. I didn't know how to make tea. I didn't know how to make soup.
Really?
None of the stuff. I've never done any of it.
Were you Googling the whole time?
I was asking her, which got annoying because she was like, yo, I was supposed to be here.
Yeah.
I leveraged the mothers. You know, my mother-in-law lives nearby. My mom lives on my block, so I leveraged them a lot.
Yeah. The chicken coop.
Yeah, you know, like, yo, listen, I need to tap into reserves. I buy y'all flowers every year for Mother's Day. Today is your day to shine.
Yeah.
You know, and they came through. They helped me out. But it definitely made me respect more of like, oh, this is what you're doing when I'm out on you know, in the streets and working. I'm very appreciative of it. By the same token, I don't plan on taking it on. It's just it's not what I'm good at. And also we're too far in. This is work. There's been 15 years of this system. You know, like, it was nice to like see the other side, but now I'm good. I'm good with my role.
Well, I think on our first episode together, we talked about how like you do view it as like there are gender roles that have existed for centuries, and it makes sense, or thousands of years, you know, like it does make sense. Mother is mother for a reason. And, you know, like I think in modern times, of course, we all share duties, but a lot of things just naturally fall to the mom.
Yeah,
and
I get it. It's
fine.
I don't know if it's fair, but it's effective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you have a lot of memories from when they were small? Like, do you remember between like 1 and 4 years old, like what that was like? What, you know, like
a lot of that. That was probably my peak working years, though. Admittedly, like, like you want to talk about the other extreme of it. At that time, I was probably working like 65, 70 hours a week
between day job, bills paying job, and then going out at night to do shows.
Well, even that was probably before I started stand up. So at the time, I was running a route.
Yeah,
I was sales rep for Frito-Lay's, putting out chips. Yeah, and then I was partners with my dad in the liquor store.
Oh, wow.
So, like, I would work like 50, 55 hours at my job, and then I'd put in like 10 to 15 at this store.
Wow.
You know, so it was a lot of like time of just being like constantly awake. In turn, I was the only source of income.
Yeah.
But we lived very comfortably. Like, everything got paid for. My kids got whatever they needed. My wife had everything she needed. I'd even argue we're probably tighter on money until recently, you know, versus that time. But in turn, like I missed a lot of those moments. Like I'd get like a text telling me that, like, you know, my kid did her first steps, or Gabby would, like, I feel like she would, like, she's dope. So she would like I feel like she would lie to me about a moment, like hey, you should come home and try to feed the kid. Like, and like, I think it already happened, and she just wanted me to feel like I was.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes like life is illusion. Like you want to create something, a beautiful moment by literally creating it and setting you up for success. That's nice.
Straight up. Yeah, like I felt like she made me think I was the first one to feed my daughter. I definitely think she did that first.
Yeah.
But yeah, I walked in on them doing most of that stuff, or like saw a video of it.
Yeah, my kid's first steps, it was me and the babysitter, and I have it on video, and it was like really cool. But there was part of me that was like, man, I wish Ross was here for this. But first steps are so bad that it's like even the second steps seem like first steps, so it's still cool. But
it's still like, yo, like that's still improvement. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the fact that one of us got to be home for that is a step forward. My parents, neither one of them saw a lot of that stuff. They were both working. So like they both missed that, and I'm sure that's a thing that they wish they could see, just like I'm sure that was a thing I got to experience. But I got to provide enough that I gave my wife that moment.
Yeah.
I feel like that has value too.
And it's a circle of life, man. I mean, it's just how life is. And you had 2 children, so I'm sure there's things you missed with your first one that you got to be a part of for the second one or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm curious how much you remember from that time, because I have a friend with a child who's maybe 8 or 9 weeks old right now. He's texting me for advice sometimes, and I'm just like, I don't even remember that. It was all,
you just survived, bro.
Yeah, it was all like being in the trenches, and you're just like on no sleep. You're just like trying to figure it out as you go. Like there's so many personality changes in the house. Excuse me, I have phlegm.
You know that movie that Denzel Washington did that's like based on a real moment where like he lands a plane, right? That like for real happened, right? Like there was like a plane landing in New York in like the water or something.
Yeah.
I found out about that like 8 years after.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It happened the week my daughter was born.
Chesley Sullenberger.
Yeah, like I completely missed all of that. I had no like I was having a casual convo with my homies. You're like, yo, like that plane landing. I'm like, what y'all talking about? And like, it was just a societal experience that I missed.
She must have, she did just turn 15, because that was exactly 15 years ago.
That's what I'm saying.
And you had that party the other day. How did so you should have a Chesley Sullenberger themed birthday party for her.
You know what? Inspired. Next year. Done deal.
Miracle on the Hudson for the little one. You know, every little teen girl's dream for her quinceañera is a Chesley Sullenberger, just an old white man with very good navigational skills.
Hey.
He I mean, you know the story now.
I know that he landed a plane.
Yeah, you should watch. Tom Hanks played him. Tom Hanks, like that's how much of a hero this man is. They were like, let's get America's favorite hero, fake hero, and get him to play him. I remember that day too. My mother called me. My mother calls me when horrible tragedies happen. I remember the morning of 9/11. She called me. I was in my dorm room. She was like, the World Trade Center is about to fall down and it's been attacked. And I'm such a moron. I was picturing the United Nations building. And I turn on the TV. I'm like, I think she got this wrong. She's mixed up. But then she called me the day of Chesley Sullenberger, and that was in the Hudson River, which is on the west side of Manhattan. It's pretty much as far away from Brooklyn as you can be. I was in Williamsburg at the time. She's like, are you okay? Just want to make sure you're not anywhere near the Hudson River. I don't know if she said it exactly like that, but it's so funny. They think anything that happens in New York City, call the police.
Just in case, yo. It could affect my son. I love that. That's beautiful.
So yeah, you weren't aware of that news story as it was happening because you were.
I was in the trenches.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Yeah, though there's definitely like I don't exist in society. I'm just in this space when you have a little kid.
I've been talking about that a lot lately because of all the horrible things going on around the world. I mean, there's 2 full-on wars happening.
Mm-hmm.
There's crazy stuff politically happening in our country. I mean, the water was rising all weekend long up and down the Hudson River, like the literal sea level rise. Things are scary, right, in the world. And I have to admit, having a child has me becoming this, like, I gotta protect my own. Like, this is all that matters.
Okay.
Like, I'm not thinking about getting a gun or anything like that, but like when I am scrolling the news and I'm so kind of fucked up about how bleak it all is, it is nice to be like, I can't control any of this, and all I got to do is like take care of my family.
That's real. That's beautiful.
And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, because then it like creates this situation where I'm just like, I can't think about that. I of course I wish I could help, but I don't know what to do. So I'm just gonna like make sure my kid is safe and sound.
My kid's alive, and I'm gonna send you like $7.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Let me know where it could go and be the most help.
Yeah, where's the GoFundMe for the ice caps totally melting?
That's all I got. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't help more. I am happy you're in Gray Hair Gang though.
Oh my God, yeah, I'm getting a lot of grays here. It's all like I've had these ones on the tip of my chin here, but just now in the bathroom I saw some other ones coming in here.
Yeah,
I have this like streak coming in that I've seen, but it's the side grays that I'm like, that's like literally from this weekend.
Wow.
Yeah,
man. I've had them for a while. I'm not sure if I remember the moments, but yeah, they stay. So
yeah, you have a nice salt and pepper beard there.
Yeah, man, it's a thing. You know, I've debated on coloring it for roles.
Yeah,
but it's too much maintenance.
Yeah,
admittedly, and I know I got them in my hair, but I wear hats, so most people don't see them, or at least not the worst. And I shave my head a lot. Yeah, nah, this is undeniable.
I went down a weird time capsule of your past last night.
Oh, what's up?
I was putting together that little clip about dodgeball.
Hell yeah!
And I'm like, I wanted to see if I could search your Facebook. Social media is crazy. Like, I can go on your Facebook and look at like cookouts you had like 15 years ago.
Rock on.
And I'm like looking for you like throwing a ball for the animation. And I saw some pictures of like comedy shows you were putting on at Legion Bar in like 2013, and I didn't realize you had started that far earlier than me. I thought we started around the same. It stuck for me at 2014, but it was interesting to see youthful, fresh-faced Gastor, and I'm like, man, this business has put some miles on this guy.
Oh yeah, man, beats me up, yo. Real talk, yo.
But same with me.
I'm gonna do lotion and water fasting this year. I'm coming back.
Oh, nice.
It's gonna be crazy.
Wait, what is water fasting?
I'm gonna do like
is that water boarding? Are you gonna have your wife lay you down and torture you?
I'm gonna do a water fast where like I do nothing but like water and electrolytes for like 20 days or something. Like get all the impurities out.
I respect it, but I want you to make sure you're including some professionals in this.
Oh yeah, of course. No, you can't just be out here wilding.
No.
Admittedly, because I know that because I did it last year by myself, and that was crazy.
Yeah.
I did like 3 days. Had incredible headaches. Then I did a bunch of Google searches, and turns out I did it all wrong.
Turns out I was poisoning my body.
Real talk, just slowly killing myself. But yeah.
And what's the lotion component? Just
I'm
lubricating the skin.
I'm just trying to get my skin better.
Yeah.
Trying to do all the self-care things. Like since the new year, what is it now? The 16th? We're like 2-3 weeks into the new year. I would say I've gone on a walk half of the days.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's great.
You know what I mean? And
you got to go up to that reservoir. I'm telling you. If
yeah.
you walk up that hill, do a lap on the reservoir, and then go home, that will be the most beautiful thing of your day.
Tomorrow, done deal.
Yeah.
Reservoir walk.
Do it.
But yeah, I'm trying to do like all the self-care stuff.
Good.
So that like I'm never gonna revert, but I want to stay 40 for as long as possible.
Yeah, that's a good goal.
Yeah, I think I could do that.
You could be like one of those creepy tech billionaires who like games the whole system and like hires like doctors to come flush your bloodstream every day.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have a whole bunch of like 20-year-old Dominican baseball players.
Yeah,
pumping their blood into me,
and
you know
and then lotioning you up afterward.
Straight up massages, crazy.
And like hitting you with baseball bats as a massage, like that. That would be relaxing, and that'll release toxins.
Toughen up the shins, you know, like I was gonna do like MMA fighting.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I think that's great. I think that would be doing a couple things. You would be employing young people from your community. You'd be providing a good example.
Gastor,
but the
entrepreneur, the aristocrat. You know what I mean? I do it all.
Aristocrat accolades. What is allocate? Accolades, aristocrat, Almonte. I like
for
it.
the people.
I want to know more about this electrolyte water fast though. What is there a recipe? You just put some salt in there. You get Gatorades. How do you do this?
I bought a bunch of pills on Amazon that said electrolytes.
This can't miss. This can't miss. I'm gonna open the GoFundMe right now for you. I'm just gonna set up the website in case we need it.
It's gonna be great. You know what I mean? You're gonna see me looking young. I might be dead at the time too, but I'm gonna look better than ever.
Yeah. The makeup artists at at the mortuary, they've really come a long way.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna put Just for Men black dye in your beard. It'll be a very stark beard. So what is there a start date for this?
Yeah. I'm starting tomorrow.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm with it. We back, baby.
All right, this is episode 118 of We Hired a Sitter for This, the podcast formerly known as Who Cares About Ross and Patrick. This will come out on January 17th, I believe.
Yeah, I'm going to do 20 days straight.
So we'll see how this goes. This will be something fun that we can track.
Yeah, I ain't ready for me. It's going to be crazy. New year, new me.
All right, and it just walks, just good, like, nice.
Walks and water.
Walking is, like, from what I understand, very good exercise.
Yeah. I mean, I can't do more. I can't run right now.
Yeah, no, that's
I'm
unsafe.
just trying to walk. I'm trying to be safe. Because my dream is to do like 10,000 steps a day, but I can't do that now.
Yeah.
So my goal is to do 10,000 steps a day in December.
And you drive to all your gigs?
For the most part, yeah. That's the next change I'm gonna make. I'm gonna start doing train just to kind of sneak in some steps.
Yeah.
But
what about bicycles? Are you into bicycles?
I would love to. But I haven't done that yet. And also, I don't want to get stranded somewhere where, like, I bike there and now I'm like, nah, I ain't about this life back.
I got to say, a city bike is really great. Still gets good exercise. And when you get the e-bike from your neighborhood, you could get all the way into Manhattan pretty easily.
But they don't have too many by my hood, man.
Yeah.
City bike be hating on me, man.
City bike is racist.
Yo, big time.
They don't put them in certain neighborhoods, and then certain neighborhoods, they limit what kind of bikes are there.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably somebody much smarter than me that can speak on that, but maybe you know.
Bike. We see you.
Yeah.
I posted pictures. I've circled the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
And it's disproportionately where people who work for a living, none of them get city bikes, essentially.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
the
that's
more
messed
working
up.
class you are, the more they want you to, like, figure it out.
Because they're like, well, this is not even about the bikes. This is about our racks being a billboard for our bank and our products. Banks don't even have products. They sell financial instruments and call them products.
Yeah.
This podcast, we're gonna start talking about conspiracies, you guys. Actually, I will bring up a conspiracy. We are recording right now on Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Observation.
Amen.
Is it his birthday? It's his birthday. That's when it's observed, right?
That I don't know. Real talk.
Well, it's always on the Monday. Anyway, he was definitely killed by our own government.
Yeah.
And I'm reading this book about conspiracies by Jesse Ventura, Jesse the Body Ventura.
Oh, yeah, I love that dude.
And I just read the MLK chapter, and I never got into the details of this. And I'm not a conspiracy nut, but it was a conspiracy. The CIA conspired to take care of this man because he was too much of a threat to our society and the way we do business as a corporatized country. And it's bleak. And today, Franny asked, because she's getting a little better, she said, am I better enough to go back to school? And I said, no, honey, there's no school because we celebrate a man named Martin Luther King Jr., and he did a lot to bring our country together. He had an amazing message that some people didn't like, and people didn't want him to keep saying his message. So he was killed. And I'm like saying this to a 3.5-year-old while I'm making bacon for her in the kitchen. I'm like, I don't even know how much I should be saying about this, but it just got me so sad. And this book, it goes through Malcolm X's murder, RFK's murder, JFK's murder, and there's this very popular podcast about JFK's murder that's on mainstream podcasts right now, and it's just like too much information for my brain about how we can't just live like there's no justice in this world, and it's really fucked up. And City Bike's a part of it. That's what I'm getting at. City Bike killed JFK.
City Bike did it. I see you, yo. Y'all went back in time, powered.
They were on the silver e-bike. They zipped in
talk.
there.
The flux capacitor was on the e-bike.
Yes.
Real talk. I went back in time and did it.
Well, quick question before we move on. I want to know, as a person who, like, here's where my privilege comes in.
Okay.
I know that City Bike is a problem. I know the wars are a problem, but I'm still a paying member of City Bike.
Okay.
And there's probably stuff that my Roth IRA goes toward in the fine print that's like supporting wars overseas. Like,
yeah.
is it okay to recognize that I see there are problems? Eventually I'd like to pitch in on fixing them, but right now I'm just too busy and tired dealing with this nuclear family to that's a philosophical question. What do you think about that kind of thing?
Yeah, I as your friend, I hope you figure out a balance that makes you feel okay with your role. As a black dude talking to a white dude, I hope everything goes wrong. I hope you struggle immensely with these issues for the rest of your life. I hope it deeply challenges you. I hope you self-reflect constantly and realize you will never do enough.
And you've been wrong this entire time.
This whole time. Oh man,
do you identify as black?
I do. I feel like
that's
it's
common
important.
for Dominicans, right?
That it is not. I think it's common for Dominicans of my generation and forward. Prior to, there's a lot of colorism stuff, in particular with people born over there, where they for different reasons don't view themselves as black.
Right.
Yeah. A big part of it being just the black means so many freaking different things.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Both the skin color aspect of it versus the culture and the
Class.
race aspect and class. So like when you ask a Dominican person if they're black and you're an American person asking with that connotation, they're answering a different question. So it gets weird.
Yeah.
But as an American, I identify as black. I just don't identify as African American.
Right.
I'm Afro Latino.
Right.
I admittedly, I'm happy that term exists now. I knew I was black and didn't have an answer for that until like 10 years ago. I didn't know what the right term was, the verbiage. We didn't have one when I was growing up. So I was like, yeah, we look alike, but I play baseball. You know what I mean? We both like drums in our music, slightly different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cool to kind of come together and figure that out over the last few years. One of the big perks, I think, of the internet that like everyone kind of realized, yo, we all look the same. We got to figure this out.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I mean? I think it had to do with like all the cultures kind of seeing we're insanely similar, and like it's stupid that we're not acknowledging it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
As a fellow millennial, I assume you got into the internet around like 10th or 11th grade, or you're a little younger.
I would say so in that ballpark.
And
yeah.
what does that look like to kind of encounter similar cultures on the internet for you? Like where did that happen? Like on AOL? Like what was your
I would say AOL helped a little bit with that, but I would say more so like Facebook.
Yeah.
That was probably the first time where like I saw people from everywhere and saw their pictures and their names and saw a ton of like real similar things.
Yeah.
Before that, it still felt kind of like localized, the internet in a way, you know,
Yeah.
like even like AOL and AIM and all of that, like, you still were kind of like US.
right?
And there was no visual component to it. Like you got a picture from a girl, you had to download that for like a half hour.
Yeah.
You know, so you couldn't really see how similar we were as people all over.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
But Facebook changed that. So yeah, we good there.
Yeah.
I was gonna say though, I enjoyed Martin Luther King when my son found out about him. He came home. He was like, "Yo, Dad, I don't like white people anymore." And I was like, "Yo, that's kind of heavy. What happened?" He's like, "Yeah, they told us Martin Luther King got killed trying to help us against the evil white people." And I was like, "Man, this school was a little aggressive today." I had a 7-year-old just angry, and I was like, okay, That's a little much. Some of them are cool. You know what I mean?
He's not totally wrong though. It is crazy. I mean, when you get into the details of how exactly they did it, it is insane.
And it was hard because like I was trying to explain to him that like not all white folk are evil. And he's like, okay, but all the white folk in 1960s, admittedly not all, but a big portion of them were unaware. He's like, what changed? I was like, I don't even know. I'm gonna go to school with you tomorrow. I'm gonna learn with you. But yeah, he came home like hot.
Yeah,
he was like, yo, I don't want any of these people around me. And I was like, well, that's the problem. Most of your teachers are white. We're gonna have to work that out. I don't know how they taught you to not like themselves.
Yeah,
that was impressive. But yeah, he came home heavy. He had like I had to monitor all his like essays.
Mm-hmm.
They were like really like aggressive.
You're like, I think you were supposed to write an essay, not a manifesto.
Real talk, yo. I had a little Malcolm X in my crib, yo. He was wilding. He's like, yeah. I was like, yo, this is math. Like, why are you writing? You don't like white folk in this equation?
I love it though because like we gotta know the truth and we gotta teach the truth. Like it is crazy how you think about like how we were taught. I mean, I don't know if you were taught Thanksgiving the way I was taught. Like, it was a peaceful meal between the Pilgrims and the Native Americans, and everybody got along, and it was great. Happy Thanksgiving.
It was a party,
and it's like you don't want to know what happened. I mean, it is brutal.
I got all that stuff in college.
Yeah,
real talk. Even in high school, it wasn't even that heavy like that. Yeah, yo, they dodge all that.
Well, actually, Ross just asked me the other day. She's like, "Do you think when Franny goes to school, they will say the Pledge of Allegiance? Like, did you say the Pledge of Allegiance?
Hell yeah!
Isn't that weird?
They don't do it anymore?
I think they do, and I think when I was in high school, I think they read it over the loudspeaker. But I don't know if we stood up and held our hearts and whatever. But that is a fucking creepy tradition that we have. Don't you think?
Huh.
Like, have you ever thought of, like, what that means, like, to stand up and proudly pledge your allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, a country who has a whole arm of its government? The CIA doesn't even operate within the government. Like, it literally killed its own president. It killed this activist. It killed Dr. King and Malcolm X and RFK. Like, this... We've taken down other governments over the years. Like, we've done evil shit around the world, and we tell our children to just blindly, like, it's literally programming. It's a morning routine of brainwashing and programming to just like believe whatever is said by our government. And I say this, I'm feeling so lucky to live here, and I want to be of service here and however I can with my art and my tax money. Like, I will participate. But it is weird that you stand there, you stand your children up, and basically, I don't know. It's like, it's creepy. To me, it's sort of it's how fascism like controls its people. I'm sorry I'm coming in here with
I'm pro Pledge Allegiance.
Such odd stuff today. You're for it.
Yeah, I'm for it. I'm not against pledging like loyalty to your spot, to your hood. I feel like they should have regional versions of it too.
Yeah.
Like, it should be like, I pledge allegiance to East New York, Brooklyn, baby. And then it should like slowly escalate and end with the U.S. one at the end. But like, we should have localized ones. So like, yo, you in Kentucky? I want to hear the Kentucky shit. You know what I mean? You moved over there. I want to hear some like, I pledge allegiance to Louisville Sluggers. You know? I think that'd be fire. Like, build local love.
I mean, all politics are local, right?
Yeah.
So you got to start local. All right.
Build that local love for your community. And then, yeah, I'm cool with the big joint, the big vision at the end. It's just, my issue is only that we only do the U.S.
Right.
We should do the local joints. There should be an East New York, a Brooklyn one.
How does it go anyway? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty
and justice for all.
We still got it programmed.
But are we? Here, I'll challenge you. I mean, do we that in what is the word? It's basically promising that we will that we're all going to try to give liberty and justice for all. But we live in a country where there's not liberty and justice for all.
But we're trying though.
We are.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Right here, us two.
Yes.
You
we're
heard
gonna
it here
solve
first, baby. We gonna solve it.
Yes.
Me and Patrick together.
I'm coming in with a heaviness today. I've been inside for too long. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know why I'm excited is because just to let y'all a little bit behind the scenes, Patrick got to clip up funny clips from the show. I don't know what he's doing, but it's gonna be his job to figure out how to make this humorous. These TikTok reels is gonna be crazy.
Here's where we can go. Did you? Let's do some why.
Oh man.
Let's do a couple why what's dad mad about?
I tell you, I was mad at you yesterday.
Oh yes.
Real talk. Yeah, if you follow our Instagram, our social media accounts, Patrick made a great reel recently about me playing dodgeball. That features
some cultural references. One of them being a great R&B artist by The Weeknd, named The Weeknd. Yeah.
Patrick texts me and said, "Hey, Gastor, do you know who The Weeknd is?
Do you know the pop star The Weeknd?
Do you know the pop star The Weeknd? Do you know realistically like top 3 most successful R&B artists of the last 15 years?
See, that's
Do you
interesting.
know the guy that like was literally headlining the Super Bowl 2 years ago for a half hour? Do you know that dude?
I guess I'm projecting because I barely know this guy.
How?
I know the songs. I know the couple songs, but I'm not like listening to top 40 radio. I don't watch any music. I mean, I guess music videos have become more popular in our house, but yeah, I think what got me asking the question is because I wanted to use the picture of him, that this like art project he's doing with like the plastic surgery scars or whatever. So I'm like, I guess the first question is, would this even make sense if he saw this image of a person all bandaged up? I'm referencing The Weeknd because I know he's in the zeitgeist. I know enough to know he's a big name, but I don't know a lot about him. And I guess my question was, if I put this up there, will that even read to Gastor? Would people even know what that is?
Yeah, I had to see it. I was mad at you until I saw the clip.
Okay.
I saw the clip. I was like, okay, I see where he's going with this. But when you just randomly text me, "Hey, Gastor, have you heard of The Weeknd?" Like, in my head, I'm like, does Patrick think he's putting me on to The Weeknd? Like, yo, listen, Gastor, I've discovered this great new artist. He's only gone 3 times triple platinum on every single. You know what I mean?
You gotta hear
He
these
has
songs.
a diamond album, but you might not have heard this.
I'm like, the first album he like made in his bedroom on a laptop. It's incredible.
Oh my God.
People are talking about him. And while you're at it, you gotta hear this Taylor Swift lady. Have you heard of Taylor Swift? And then Jason Priestley, I was legitimately curious what the East New York relationship to 90210 was in the 90s.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious. Did you have an awareness of that kind of television?
I didn't watch 90210 like that, admittedly, but I know of it because Kelly Kapowski was like the it girl for a lot of dudes, and she was on that show after Saved by the Bell finishes run.
Right.
So like I know enough to know like she was on it, and I know most of the girls when I was in like high school and junior high talked about the people. So like I know Jason is the twin brother of another girl that was on it.
Oh yeah.
Right, on the show.
Yeah, I can't even remember the details of that show.
And then there's a bunch of other really good looking people.
Yeah.
And they go to a rich school.
Maybe one day, if we're ever struggling for content, we could sit and watch an episode of 90210.
I'd love to.
And just pick apart the character decisions and motivations. All right, so you were mad that I just think you live under a rock.
Real talk, man. I mean, I'm cool with living under a rock. Just not like, yo, have you heard of this incredibly successful R&B artist? Yeah, if you'd have thrown me some country shit, cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want to throw me a white cultural reference, fine. But like literally the most successful R&B artist of the last 15 years.
Is he really that successful?
I would say in terms, like, I can't think of who would be more. It would be him, and definitely male. You could argue like obviously like Beyonce, Rihanna would be more in terms of overall.
Yeah.
And you could probably say Bruno. But outside, those are the only 3 names I could think of on that level that have done those type of sales or writing for other people.
Right.
Like, it's insane.
All right. Well,
and you were like, nah, maybe they're snuck by a gas store.
I'll be more sensitive in the future. I feel like we're gonna really get to know each other on this podcast.
I'm excited.
Over the weeks and months that pass. I'm gonna have to come to your medical rescue when your water fast leads you to collapse around the reservoir up on Highland Park. Actually, don't do that walk. If you're doing this fast, you need to do walks. You need to do walks on the routes of ambulances and eyewitnesses.
Real talk.
I don't need you keeling over in the woods.
I'm gonna just pace back and forth in front of the YMCA.
Yes.
What made you mad?
So this is a weird one. I didn't think I was going to talk about this, but we did somehow end up talking about the secret program for people who have a drinking problem early at the top of the show, and I had a show this weekend at a gathering of one of those groups out in Long Island. It was a fundraising event. And I love doing these shows for people in recovery. It like makes me feel good. It feels like service.
Oh yeah.
It paid a couple bucks, and so I went out there. It was at this church, and like I booked the gig months ago, and I said to them, I was like, "Do I need to bring gear? I have." And I guess this doesn't even have to be about the program or whatever. Let's just say it's a private gig. And when you book a gig, sometimes you got to bring equipment, and I have plenty of equipment. And I just said, "Let me know if I need to bring it." And anyway, 3 days ago, a couple days before the gig, the person who booked me said, "By the way, I'm not going to be there, but here's the phone number of the person who will be there." So I text them. I'm like, "Hey, I'm coming. I'm bringing 2 other comedians. We're looking forward to it. Just want to be extra clear. Do I need to bring equipment? Because I have gear. I have lights, speakers, mics, whatever." They say, no. This church has everything you need. It's in a church basement, by the way.
Okay.
And they're like, they have a ton of gear. We can use whatever we want. And then we drive like an hour and a half out there, get there about 30 minutes early, getting a coffee down the street. I'm like, this is going to be great. I get a text from the person. They're like, "By the way, none of the equipment works. Going to have to do the show a cappella." And I was like, so mad. Or no, that isn't actually what they said. They said, "There's no equipment." They said, "There's no equipment. You have to do it a cappella." And I just got angry, and I like said, "Dude, I checked on this like multiple times." Anyway, we get there. There is equipment. There's a mountain of equipment in this church basement. They have like really high-end stuff. They have like crappy stuff. They have so much stuff in the space where it's like a cafeteria kind of space.
Yeah.
And a stage, and I'm like, okay, I can figure this. I can make something work here. There's 2 back rooms. A mountain of equipment. There's multiple drum sets. There's guitar amps. There's this old stage where they put on shows or rehearsals or something, but nothing works. Nothing's connected. Every kind of mic cable you can think of is just spaghettied together.
Oh, I hate that.
It's a wreck, and I'm like so mad. And and there's like nice equipment too. There's like these mics that are like, we could be recording a much better version of this podcast with some of this gear. And that's where my brain went immediately. I was like, fuck these people, fuck this church. How are they going to let this stuff all sit here and become a mess and not be put to good use? I'm going to fill a bag and nobody will ever know.
Amen.
I literally started thinking like that. And I'm a sober alcoholic who's supposed to like, stay honest and not break laws, not do crimes, not do crimes in a church. And I said to one of the other people who were on the show who were also like sober, and I was like, "Hey, I gotta do a quick 5th step." And it's a 12-step program. And the 5th step is when you just like tell the truth about something. And I was like, I can't stop thinking about stealing all this, as much of this as I can fit in my backpack. And I, of course, I wasn't going to do it. But like, that's where my anger and resentment toward the gig and the organization and me like trying to say like, I'll set up a show. Like I'm good at setting up a show. I have the gear. Just tell me the information I need. And then because I was so angry, and then I resented this church, which this group didn't even actually have a direct relationship with. They were just renting the space. I started thinking dark thoughts about theft. So that's where That's what Dad got mad about this
Amen.
week.
I am now mad that you didn't invite me to steal the stuff for you.
I know, man.
I would have took all that shit.
We would have had some condenser mics in front of our face right now.
Be crazy. Podcast production upgrade.
I would get a drum set in this room. We can fit it, right?
It'd be great. You know what I mean? The hip hop album, we could have started recording right now.
Hell yeah.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, you made me wonder if the Fifth Step and the Fifth Amendment are like related, because they're like both, you know, related to like
free speech.
Free speech.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, well, the steps were like kind of plagiarized from something that existed before. There's something called the Oxford Group. But I think it's got some like mystical stuff to it. It's like 12 months in a year, 12 hours and a half a day, you know, like that kind of like 12 hours, 12 around the clock. But yeah, that's interesting. Where are the American connections to be made?
You know what I mean? Conspiracy theories, baby. We was talking about them, yo.
It's the Illuminati is really
they
what
coming
this
after
all
us.
comes down to.
Yo, if that's the difference between me being successful and I'm ready. You know what I mean? Tell me where I got to show up, what naked shower I got to take.
Yeah.
What I got to do. I'm here.
I wonder if there is a Masonic lodge in East New York.
Yo.
Do you know about the Masons?
I've seen like I know what's his name? Gerard Carmichael filmed the special in the Masonic Lodge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love their as a property owner, love their real estate.
You like their decor?
Yeah, they do a great job.
Yeah.
A lot of fine touches, great building choices, interior, exterior design, exquisite.
Yeah.
Forward thinking investors. They got great property value. You know what I mean? I'm impressed.
Yeah, they and I think they're actual Masons, right? Is there a relationship between the Masonic lodge and the group of the Masons and stonemasons? Like, do they know how to lay a good foundation?
That'd be pretty cool.
Are they good with bricks?
Real talk.
Yeah, the decor is impressive. A lot of domes. I think they do a lot of dome ceilings.
Real talk. What if we just started like our own like conspiracy theory group? You know what I mean?
Or cult? Should we start a cult?
I'm with it. What stops us?
I think morals and ethics.
You can't have a good cult. Why all cults got to be bad?
Yeah, I think.
Why can't it be a cult that's like, yo, listen, every Sunday we get together and make really healthy sandwiches for people?
Yeah.
That could be a cult. And you just meet up, you post up outside and just offer sandwiches and water.
Yeah, we're going to help a lot of people, and you're going to feel really good about yourself, but you do have to give me personally 20% of all your income.
Yeah, that's it. And we got to pay for the sandwiches.
And then the weird sex stuff starts happening at some point, but for now, it's just
that.
It's just sandwiches.
You know, I want to give clean shoelaces to anybody with smudgy shoelaces. You know, like you walked in the water and now like your shoelaces look gray.
Warm socks are like
warm socks.
They feel like gold when you've got a wet foot. You get somebody gives you warm socks. It does feel like somebody saved you. I would join that cult.
See, look at that positives.
I like it. Well, we never do this on this show. We haven't done it yet. But do you have any gigs coming up that you want to mention? Or you got a big trip tomorrow. You going to Rhode Island?
Yeah. I'm working with the University of Rhode Island.
Nice.
I'm doing like a seminar for storytelling. It's gonna be cool. It's part of like a STEM representation in STEM over there.
Great.
So yeah, they had me coming over.
This is related to the Story Collider.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's they booking me because I worked with Story Collider when I was there before, but now it's just me going out there.
Nice.
But it's trippy, man. Like it takes me a minute to like when these things come up to like acknowledge that like I'm an expert at something.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, it's trippy to like go to a place and talk to people who are like PhDs and genuinely educated, brilliant folk who've dedicated their lives to something that's viewed as like serious.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo, come talk to me. And it's strictly based on the fact that like, you know, I do yucks on stage. You know? Like,
right.
It's just such a wild concept that they respect what I do that much that they'll listen to me and take advice.
And they're all like scientists or science
in
majors?
this case, it's gonna be like science related things. It's usually that. But yeah, it's a wild concept to me that like, you can do a weird art thing and like have people like see the value in listening to your expertise in it. Yeah,
well, that's what's amazing about scientists that we all know who are like personalities on TV, like what's his face, the space guy. You got
Neil deGrasse.
Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like people like that, they are well known because they're able to synthesize very complicated things into like good stories.
Yeah.
And people need to be taught how to do that. Like one of my jobs for doing corporate video, I would make these video podcasts for an insurance company, and they would say, yeah, we just want to like read this thing to the camera and then we'll make it into a podcast. And I'd be sitting there behind the camera. I'm like, I'll film you saying whatever you want to say and I'll make it into whatever you want. Let's do it. And then they do it and I'm like falling asleep behind the camera. And then when it's time to edit it, I'm falling asleep. And I told them over the years multiple times, like, hey, I can help you turn this into something that will make sense for the casual viewer. So that's beautiful that you're going to do that with these scientists who probably need help making things sound more entertaining.
Word up. But like just on some joke shit, my next thing is I'm gonna be in Plano, Texas.
Oh wow.
Yeah, first 3 days of February I'm gonna be out there. I believe
Nice.
first, second, third. Doing Yuck Yucks at I think it's House of Comedy.
Yeah,
You know
go
what I
see
mean?
Gas Store.
Yeah, yo. Plano.
Plano's just outside of Dallas. So
yeah, yo. I'm excited. My first time out there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, yo.
In Texas, the state?
Yeah, I
Wow.
haven't done it. It's gonna be cool.
That's so cool.
How about you?
Yeah, I think not first weekend of February, first weekend of March, I'm going to be featuring for Rob Christensen outside of Chicago at, I think it's called GC's or CG's Comedy Club.
Okay.
But between now and then, I've been trying to stay on top of the calendar. And you've inspired me. I got to get organized with my stuff and my profile. I got to get my website in order, my dates. So yes, this is all a quick conversation to say, please do follow us and check our dates. And I don't know if people even listen to dates on a podcast and then say, yeah, I'll go.
We'll figure it out.
But we'll keep talking about it.
We'll keep shooting darts at the board. Whatever you respond to, that's what you're gonna get. Okay.
Yeah.
If next week y'all like, hey, Gas Store, Patrick, we really love you when you guys get real serious and talk about conspiracy theories.
Yes.
You bet your ass this we gonna do going forward.
I was thinking, should we start putting out the call for audience questions? Like, is there parenting advice that people might want to hear from us?
I'm ready.
Is there? I mean, our parenting advice might just be start working nights and leave the family as often as possible.
Real talk. You know what I mean? Marry up in terms of partner skill sets.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I think that's huge.
Yeah.
General rules. Before becoming a parent, I suggest not having sex with anybody who got below a 90 average, just in case you have kids. You don't want your kids to need a lot of help with school.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
That's good.
Think about yourself. You know, like, do you have the patience to walk through that homework?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Has that never been an issue for you guys? Both of them are
my
pretty
kids
sharp.
Are sharp, and like when I explain something, they get it like on the first take.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. I'll explain anything. I just can't explain it like 4 times.
Yeah.
So like, thankfully, don't really have to. Yeah, usually just say, hey, this is what you should do, and they get it. You know what I mean? Honor roll kids, baby. You know what I mean?
It sounds like they're going to take good care of you when you regress into your own childhood and when you're an old man.
I'm hoping so. Admittedly, they might focus on Gabby, and I might just get like, the scraps. But I'm okay with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's cool.
That is the one. So when people found out that we decided we're just going to have the one child, that's the most compelling thing about having multiple children is you don't saddle one kid with the responsibilities of dealing with you when you're old and dumb and like broken. And
also it's like low-key, it's kind of presumptuous of you to think that one kid is going to like both of you.
Yeah, she might just ditch.
She might ditch, you know what I mean? Like, I think everyone should have at least 2 kids and hope that they like at least one of y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, you could have a kid don't like either of you. You could have a kid that likes only one of you, and that's fair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to expect one person to take care of 2 of you, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
You just a regular person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I gotta start winning her over. I gotta make her want to take care of me.
I know I'm losing the battle right now, but if I get 20% of the attention from each of them. That's not bad. You know what I mean? But I got 2, you know? If I was just 1, I'd lose. I know that. I can't win that battle. I'm getting closer now though, cause baby years Gabby crushed me, you know, but they forgetting those. Right now I'm dominating, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is crazy the ebbs and flows. Like there are some days where she's like obsessed with me and wants to hang out with me and wants to know where I am if I'm not around, and then that's very rare, by the way. It's usually all about mama. But yeah, I actually, we had an incident yesterday. So tell me what you think of this. Ross needed a break. So she's been, baby's been, I keep calling her baby. The kid's been sick since last Wednesday night. And I had those gigs 3 nights in a row and I got to escape. So last night Ross was like, I want to go to a movie. I'm going to leave at 5. I'll come home after bedtime. And I was like, that's great. You deserve that. You go do that. I canceled a bar show. It felt like the right decision for the family. And I was like, this will be easy because she's a little sick, so her energy's low. But here's the thing. When the kid is sick, you give him Motrin, and Motrin is like a little bit of bump of something special for kids because all out of nowhere, they're just like, I got ideas. Let's play. She's got ideas. She wants to trash her room. She wants to cook with me in the kitchen. She wants to color and paint. She wants to start a new daycare in the neighborhood. She's got ideas like somebody on something a little bit stronger. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I kept up with it, and it was nice for the most part. But the mood swings became more and more dramatic because she was like, thought she felt better, but then she felt like crummy again. Anyway, it led to her when I was cooking dinner. She was mad that I was cooking dinner and not paying attention to her. So she goes in her room and just trashes her room, like dumps crayons and markers everywhere. She did some silent mess making, which is new. This is next level. I went in there and all of her clothes from her wardrobe, like her hangers, were on the floor. Like her whole clothes thing was totally empty, just a pile of clothes in the middle of the room. And I couldn't hear it because it's clothes. And I was just like, what did you do that for? And she was like, I wanted to. And I was like, all right, well, you're going to help me clean it. And she's like, but I'm sick. And I'm like, well, then sit in the chair and watch me clean it up. And she sat I made her sit in the chair. It felt very 1980s dad or whatever. Like, I didn't know, I was so pissed, but I didn't want to yell at her. So I was like, well, you're going to watch me clean up. So as I put each item back on the clothes rack, I just start like psychologically going for it. And I'm just like, we gave you this room. This is a special room. This is your special place. And I feel disrespected that you threw your clothes everywhere. And now I have to clean it up. And I just kept talking at that tone, but making it clear that I didn't appreciate that she made this mess. And she starts crying and she feels really bad. And then I feel bad, and I'm like, "What am I doing?" But I do want to let her have it a little bit because I don't want her to make messes, you know. And then we kind of got on equal ground, and then I finished making dinner, and then I went back in there and she cleaned up. She has all these little backpacks and purses and stuff, and she hung them all up on their hooks. Okay. And she very proudly showed me that part of the mess she cleaned up, and then we had a big hug, and I told her I was proud of her. I'm doing the best I can, you guys. I'm doing the best I can.
And so I got so many questions. One, first of all, I don't think she was angry. I think it was a performance piece.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You should have recorded that. That was legitimately art, yo.
Yeah.
Like, she quietly made a mess.
Yeah.
Prepared to answer for when you asked the question she knew was coming.
Yeah.
That's... Yeah. Yo, sincerely, that's beautiful, yo. That's because she's elevating her game.
Yeah.
She knows your moves. She's like, nah, I got to take this to another place now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that was her, like, beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy. Like, that was the perfect album.
She knows it's Emmy season.
Yo, she's ready.
Like, I'm getting an award.
Amen. She's sincere. Like, yo, Webby nominee.
Yes.
People's Choice Awards, Grammys, Emmys. She's getting them all.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm highly impressed with her.
Thank you.
Second, very different approach in terms of property and parenting.
Mm-hmm.
Your school of thought, I do not agree with.
Mm-hmm.
I constantly let my kids know that everything is mine. So, like, you make a mess, this is my room. I let you borrow it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're
all
a tenant.
the stuff. Yeah, you a tenant here, my G.
Yeah.
You, second floor, same shit.
Yeah.
Real talk. You are here as a privilege, okay? All the stuff you just chucked, that's my shit. You know what I mean? The nerve of you to throw somebody else's stuff like that. I could take you to court. You know what I mean? Like, that's madness. Be like, I like nothing in this crib is yours.
I should have been like, see that pile of clothes? Here's a suitcase. Pack your shit and get out.
This is my shit, B. You get out. You go call your grandparents and hope that one of them want to deal with you. You don't live here no more. Nobody lives in my house, does this madness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a whole different energy. I've never, like, I tell them that they are entitled to privacy, but it's a privilege. Like,
I like that.
Yeah,
I like
real
that.
talk. Like, you could lose that real quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This door, my door. I could take it where I want. I could take it off the hinges.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To make sure that you ain't disrespecting the other things I own in here.
Right.
But this is my crib. This is my room.
Yeah.
This is my bed. I paid for. You made a payment on that? No, you did not. I paid for that. I paid for that.
Yeah.
All of that.
I mean, I've been doing a bit about her where in the bit she is positioned as the landlord, like, because she took our room. We were in a 1-bedroom. She now took over the room, and our bed is in the living room. It's like she's like 3 years old, but she's already a cutthroat New York City landlord.
Gangster.
And then there's tags, of course, and it's funny. I won't do the bit now, but I do have to mentally change my attitude and make it so she's not so in charge.
Yeah, yo. Because she's not.
Yeah.
You in charge. You and Ross.
And it's better for her development if she knows she's not in charge.
Yeah, I read about like tribes where like the biggest thing that they think is wrong with like American families is that we treat the kids like the center of the family.
Yes.
Like the center is y'all two.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And they get to rock with you and chill as a perk. Like, yo, like you happen to, I made you, so I'm gonna let you like get around with me.
Yeah.
But like, it's still me and your mom. Like, this is the team up here. And like, yeah, I'm gonna let you like learn to run your team later, but you ain't the team. It's us two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You on the bench, you learn it.
I need that book now.
Yo, real talk, B. That's the whole team. Me and Gabby, that's my squad.
Yeah.
I love my kids. I want y'all to do well, and I'm prepping y'all to run your own division.
Yeah.
But like, this is my squad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's me and your mom.
And you can watch the game tapes.
Real talk.
We'll be transparent.
Straight up. I want you to succeed when you got your team, but this is still my team.
I like that.
Yeah, you could. I'll even let you give input. You're getting older, but the final call is one of us two.
Yeah.
Period. You don't get to do that.
You're not Pat Riley.
Nah.
You're not Coach Carroll.
Real talk.
You're not Bill Belichick. You're still in a yellow penny
Real
on the
talk.
side.
You might be Michael Cooper. Okay.
I don't know that reference. Who's that?
He was a player on the Lakers, but he was on the bench.
All right. Yeah.
Good player.
Yeah, that's
solid
good.
player.
Yeah.
But on the bench.
You're
know what I
Muggsy
mean?
Bogues.
Straight up. Yeah. Solid. Role player.
Yeah.
You even start now, but you still ain't.
You're learning.
You learning. You're not the star. You're not the coach.
I do like picturing her with a Pat Riley slick back hair, though. I do think Ross is Buck Showalter.
Okay.
Do you remember Buck Showalter?
Hell yeah.
I was at a thing recently, and a guy was saying he was explaining that he works with a bunch of people who fight a lot. He works on a construction site, and they fight things out a lot. And he doesn't like it. It triggers his anxiety. He doesn't want people fighting and shouting at each other. But then he realized that's a legitimate communication style.
Yeah.
And he made the point. It's like in baseball, like the manager and the umps, they fight, they spit, they kick dirt at each other, but then a decision is made and everybody moves on with their life.
Yeah.
And I realized that's kind of like me and Ross's dynamic. Like I'm a much more calm and reserved, and I withhold if I feel pissed or annoyed, I get quiet. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
She will get more aggressive or raise her voice or whatever. And I've realized like she's just Buck Showalter. That's how he did it. And she's just trying to get the game back she's just trying to get the game back going.
Listen, Buck won a lot of games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Incredible management style.
I appreciate the wisdom on that. The wisdom of not letting her be the landlord or the coach of the team. We're the coach.
Listen, I'm the coach. I'm the landlord. I'm the building owner.
I feel like you're going to provide a lot of wisdom for me and my family.
Likewise,
the
too,
more we
man.
do this.
I'm excited.
I will say one more funny thing about Franny. This is new. I said this on stage the other night. I don't know if this will ever be funny on stage, but she has learned. And stop me if I said this on here. I don't know who I've been talking to about this, but she has learned how to deliver punchlines.
Oh, hell yeah.
In the form of flatulence. She very proudly farts around the house. She does it real loud. She saves them up. She times them. And it's probably because me and I don't know if you guys do this in your house, but Ross and I have always been very openly gaseous in our apartment.
Oh, no, we're not.
Probably 6 months into dating, we just started letting them rip, and we didn't even care. And it's fine. It's I know this is disgusting.
No,
I'm sorry
that's
if I'm
dope.
grossing you out.
Does Ross's fart smell?
Oh, they're actually. I think I've only smelled one because I am so protective of myself. If I know it's coming, I just stop breathing for 2 to 5 minutes.
Huh.
So I avoid it. But yeah, everybody's does. And Franny's have been really bad since she was sick.
Yo, shouts to Franny.
Yeah, she doesn't give a shit. And we have a funny phrase. If we do it, we go, "Oh, pardon the fartin." It's stupid, but it's very cute. It's very cute when a 3-year-old goes, "Pardon the fartin." It's great. And anyway, during another performance piece she did last week, she was mad at me. She took a piece of art that I made on her room. Like you got to see my crayon work. I'm very good. I'm very good with crayons and Magna-Tiles, but she actually wants to hold me back as an artist. Like, she won't let me complete any of my works, but she did let me complete one work. It was on her wall. She was mad about something. She crumpled it up. She crumpled up all the art, and she showed me that she crumpled up this dog that I colored, and she was like, "Mama doesn't like to look at this. Peggy doesn't like to look at this." Peggy's the dog. This is Franny talking to me like she's Joe Pesci in Goodfellas. She's like, "Mama doesn't like to look at this. Peggy doesn't like to look at this." And when I look at it, I go, and then she bends over and puts it against her ass and farts on it. So she timed that death blow of a joke with the gas in her system.
You know, I'm going to get to know a lot more about you in terms of where you were raised, but I've never been more sure that Franny's from Brooklyn. Like, yo, that's so beautiful, yo.
Full attitude.
Real talk, yo.
Yeah.
You learn it. You get it. Once you hear, you one of us, yo.
Yeah.
Shouts to Franny from the hood.
Yeah.
I am a little jealous that y'all fart. Gabby and I.
You can't hold it in.
She says she farts. I've never smelled the fart from Gabby. Now, one time. I never know when she farts. She farts silently.
Yeah.
But like she gets embarrassed the few times she does fart in front of me. But I don't hear it and I don't smell it. So like I think she's fucking with me at this point. I think she has like ingestional problems actually at this point.
Some people have the class and skill to like use the restroom just for that purpose. Maybe she's doing that.
Maybe, because like sincerely, I've never heard her fart, never. And I know she's gotten embarrassed, like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and it's because she farted, like we were in bed together or something. But I never hear it. I don't smell it. I get mad, like, sure, whatever you did. But it didn't happen. Like, I'm mad that like you're trying to make it look like we the same. We not. I fart all the time.
Yeah.
I know I fart in my sleep.
That's like, I mean, last week we talked about ninjutsu, but she's doing that with her ass.
Yo, straight up, it's a gift.
Good for her,
you know and
good for you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, I think we covered all possible topics on this episode. Thank you for listening.
Who gives you this range?
I know.
Who covers more?
We've got a full spectrum right here.
Conspiracy theories. Both countries and our spouses' asses.
Yes.
All of them.
Thanks for watching the show. Tell a friend. Should we say promotional stuff like that? Tell a friend if you think we're good. And there's other I think new dads would get a lot out of this, or old dads, any dads, moms too. We're vulnerable men. We talk about our feelings. Sometimes we're funny about it. Sometimes I'm like, I'm just gonna come in here and talk about how scared I am of the world.
It's okay. You're allowed.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.
Peace.